Welcome to the Hawkeye Rising YouTube channel. I'm Clint, your host, your Hawkeye. Okay, this will be recorded from March 28th, 2022. Will this be quick? This is going to try to be here. March 28th. I'm just briefly reading globalnews.ca. Métis Delegation, Rome, Pope meeting. In a daze, Métis delegates fired up for papal meeting as flight lands in Rome. Okay. The article, there's a disclaimer. The story deals with disturbing subject matter, so on and so forth. What has caught my attention? Let's see. A tweet from Pope Francis at Pontifex, March 27, 2022. 2 years ago in this piazza, we lifted up our plea for the end of the pandemic. Today we have done so for an end to the war in #Ukraine, #Pray Together, #Peace. And it's also mentioned that there's nothing said or mentioned about Canada and the Indigenous Delegation. As we know, there was a postponement of this delegation that was supposed to take place at the end of last year, postponed till March, so tomorrow, March 28th, and till April 1st. I did a little bit of commentary a couple videos back, the THX 1138, and in the latter half or last third, I think of that video, I had some commentary here. So, just a couple of things I wanted to read from this article. More than 150,000 Indigenous children attended Canada's 139 residential schools, described by some as institutions of assimilation. Their purpose, writes the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, was to kill the Indian in the child. Thousands of children were beaten, raped, and stripped of their culture by the priests and nuns charged with their care, studies say, and while estimates range between 4,000 and 6,000, the true number of Indigenous children who died is unknown. It's funny, if this is true, 139 residential schools in Canada. Of course, when I see 139, my first thought is of Psalm 139, a very, very intimate psalm of the Creator and His creation, literally, and in a very literally in the Holy of Holies, in the mother's womb. And then, of course, away from me, you bloodthirsty men. Okay, I want to... a couple of things caught my attention, but it also made me want to share a couple of things with you. Obviously, this is historical. How to put it in context in minutes. One, who is the Pope? What is the papacy? What is Rome? Prophetically speaking, biblically speaking. And if once those items are sorted, because one of my goals here is to reread. I've covered a little bit of this already, but the extreme oath, or the fourth vow of the Jesuit order, which Jorge Mario Bergoglio, or known as Pope Francis or Francis I, would have declared, an oath he would have taken. So I'll continue with that. I do further promise and declare that I will have no opinion or will of my own. Let's get this a little easier to read. Okay. Own or any mental relation, whatever, even as a corpse or a cadaver, perinde ac cadaver, but will unhesitatingly obey each and every command that I may receive from my superiors in the militia of the Pope and of Jesus Christ, that I will go to any part of the world whithersoever I may be sent, to the frozen regions north, jungles of India, to the centers of civilization of Europe, or to the wild haunts of barbarous savages of America, without murmuring or repining, and will be submissive in all things whatsoever is communicated to me. I do further promise and declare that I will, when opportunity presents, make and wage relentless war, secretly and openly, against all heretics, Protestants, and Masons, and as I am directed to do, to extirpate them from the face of the whole earth, that I will spare neither age, sex, nor condition, and that I will hang, burn, waste, boil, flay, strangle, and bury alive these infamous heretics, rip up the stomachs and wombs of their women, and crush their infants' heads against the walls in order to annihilate their execrable race. That when the same cannot be done openly, I will secretly use the poisonous cup, the strangulation cord, the steel of the poniard, or the leaden bullet, regardless of the honor, rank, dignity, or authority of the persons, whatever may be their condition in life, either public or private, as I at any time may be directed to do so by agents of the Pope or Superior of the Brotherhood of the Holy Father of the Society of Jesus, in confirmation of which I hereby dedicate my life, soul, and all corporal powers, and with the dagger which I now receive, I will subscribe my name written in my blood in testimony thereof, and should I prove false or weaken in my determination, may my brethren and fellow soldiers of the militia of the Pope cut off my hands and feet and my throat from ear to ear, my belly be opened and sulfur burned therein, with all the punishment that can be inflicted upon me on earth, and my soul shall be tortured by demons in eternal hell forever. That I will, in voting, always vote for a Knight of Columbus in preference to a Protestant, especially a Mason, and so on and so forth. What I wanted to get to, though, specifically was this blood oath, and should I prove false or weaken in my determination, may my brethren and fellow soldiers of the militia of the Pope cut off my hands and feet, and my throat from ear to ear, my belly be opened, so on. We remember what happened to Jean de Brébeuf, how his captors we have to remember, and this is one of the points of this, is who is Pope Francis? What does he represent? There is a black robe beneath his white cassock. I know I've read multiple times already. I will say again, I believe this is a controlled source that does not take away from its importance, or that is a good source of valuable information. Let's see. I've read from this before, one of my first videos. So from page 6, Rulers of Evil, Useful Knowledge about Governing Bodies. A fasces is a Roman device. Actually, it originated with the ancient Etruscans, from whom the earliest Romans derived their religious jurisprudence nearly 3,000 years ago. It's an axe head whose handle is a bundle of rods tightly strapped together by red sinew. It symbolizes the ordering of priestly functions into a single infallible sovereign, an autocrat who could require life and limb of his subjects. If the fasces is entwined with laurel, like the pear on the House, so the House of Representatives in the United States, if the fasces is entwined with laurel, like the pear on the House of Representatives wall, it signifies Caesarian military power. The Romans called this infallible sovereign Pontifex Maximus, supreme bridge builder. No Roman was called Pontifex Maximus until the title was given to Julius Caesar in 48 BC. Today's Pontifex Maximus is Francis I, or Pope Francis. As we shall discover in the forthcoming chapter, Francis does not hold that title alone. A man holding an office that is being... Francis does not hold that title alone. He shares it with a mysterious partner, a military man, a man holding an office that has been known for more than 4 centuries as Papa Nero, the Black Pope. I shall present evidence that the House fasces represent the Black Pope, who indeed rules the world. And then Saussy goes into, later I will develop what is sure to become a controversial hypothesis, that the Black Pope rules by divine appointment and for the ultimate good of mankind. From Lorenzo Ricci, Sun Tzu, 1772. Chapter 6, Weak Points and Strong. Sun Tzu said, "Whoever is first in the field and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight. Whoever is second in the field and has to hasten to battle will arrive exhausted. Therefore, the clever combatant imposes his will on the enemy, but does not allow the enemy's will to be imposed upon him. By holding out advantages to him, he can cause the enemy to approach of his own accord, or by inflicting damage, he can make it impossible for the enemy to draw near. If the enemy is taking his ease, he can harass him. If well supplied with food, he can starve him out. If quietly encamped, he can force him to move. Appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend. March swiftly to places where you are not expected." And jumping down, hence, that general is skillful in attack whose opponent does not know what to defend, and he is skillful in defense whose opponent does not know what to attack. O divine art of subtlety and secrecy! Through you we learn to be invisible, through you inaudible, and hence we can hold the enemy's fate in our hands. You may advance and be absolutely irresistible if you make for the enemy's weak points. You may retire and be safe from pursuit if your movements are more rapid than those of the enemy. Anyway, March 28th. We also recognize March 28th being, I brought this up before, so the birthday, 1515, Teresa of Avila, or Teresa of Jesus. The uncredited source of Marvel comic universe is Thanos. We call Thanos of Loyola, because Teresa of Avila was canonized by Gregory the 15th, March 12th, 1622, with Ignatius Loyola and Francis Xavier. It's also interesting too, who else has a birthday on March 28th? Where are you? And I'll post a picture. Where are you? 1945. 16th President of the Philippines. Former spokesperson for Resistance Rising, Rodrigo Duterte. I wish I could do it, but I don't have the dexterity or the flexibility in hand to make the Duterte middle finger bird, the single gun salute. What else? Who else can I? Anyway, I just wanted to. Okay, while I'm here, I'll briefly get into this. Pulp Fiction. I brought this up before. The pawn shop scene with Butch, between Butch Coolidge, Bruce Willis's character, and Marcellus Wallace, being Ramsey's character. You'll remember the scene as the bring out the gimp scene. And as much as I recommend, do not watch this movie. Unless you're thoroughly grounded. It is disgusting. But the bring out the gimp scene is and the sequence leading up to it.
Well, bring out the gimp.
I think the gimp's sleeping.
Well, I guess you just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
It is an allegory, and this is your Hawkeye's, it is my interpretation, but there's confirmation within the scene and the sequence of the signs and the symbols within the scene that Zed is the superior general, takes on as an allegory, takes the place of the superior general, and the GIMP literally is the society of Jesus. And what happened to Marcellus Wallace in orange? What does the orange shirt represent? Not just Protestantism, but remember Orange Shirt Day in Canada, and the residential school attachment to the Orange Shirt Day? What happened to Marcellus Wallace in that scene? And if you know the scene, again, you don't have to look at it, but he was buggered by Zed. But what do we know about the scene, though? And this is in part, I believe, they know what's coming. The enemy, the other side, knows what's coming because the tables turn within that scene. And Butch rescues Marcellus with a sword. And then Marcellus takes over with the shotgun.
Step aside, Butch.
And it's beautiful. If there's anything that redeems how filthy. And I think Tarantino knows it. Because again, I'm right now looking at, how about this? Release date, October 14th in the United States, October 14th, 1994. There's a few dates attached to that. Specifically, current Superior General Arturo Sosa, his superior generalship, or generalate, began October 14th, 2016. How about this? George Floyd. It's not just anger, it's grievous that we have to witness this and yet have no idea what's going on. George Floyd's birthday is October 14th. And we saw how he died. Anyway, I think we'll leave it at that. It's been a few minutes, and I just wanted to quickly share a few things. And yeah, okay, I'll put this together, get it up, and then, because this is I know for me, being Canadian and understanding the subterfuge, the foundation of lies underneath all this, and then my grief that I have that there is hope that from the I don't all the names. I'm still trying to get all this together so I can understand it and know who's who. That there is hope here. It's like Stockholm Syndrome 101. You don't go to your abuser, your rapist, the one that buggered you, and ask for an apology. And this is what's happening today, tomorrow, and the following, up until April Fool's, April 1st. I said it before, it is a joke. It is a mockery. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Bless you and your families. It's your Hawkeye. Bye for now.